Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Nick, and I am back, and I am waiting for you, and yes, you. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to come on in the room. Come on in. I've got something very special I want to share with all of you tonight, so I'm going to give you a moment. Come in. I'll be right back. Come on in. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Nick. How are you on this terrific Tuesday? Hope you are magnificent. Hope you are feeling divine. Hope you are feeling wonderful. I have a special message that I have to share with all of you tonight, and I can't wait to share it. I hope that, hi Felicia, how are you tonight? I hope you're feeling better. Hey Fifi, hi Vicky. Hey, Pastor Kennard. How's it in ATL? Hope you guys are doing great today. Today we had a nice day in Jersey, 41 degrees. Ain't God good? So keep on coming in while you guys are waiting for us to get started. Hey, can you share? Because I think that this message tonight, as a matter of fact, I know this message tonight is going to bless someone. So please share it. Hey, Miss D-Berry. Hey, Tiana. Please share it. Hey, Leslie. I miss you, Leslie. Please share. Please share. Tonight's topic, I cannot wait to share it with all of you. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. I've got to get myself together. Yes, I'm in Jersey, but we just had a whole bunch of snow. A little bit too much. Well, I'm from Wisconsin, so I really shouldn't be complaining about the snow, right? But I don't like it nonetheless. Yes, Jersey. But I'm alive, so I made it. So as the song says, I won't complain. Once again, for those of you who are just now tuning in, it is Dr. Nick, and I have a special message for you, and yes, you, for those of you who are watching now or those of you who will watch later. This message will bless you, or it can bless someone else. So I'm definitely going to share. I'm going to jump right in. Once again, my name is Dr. Nycole P. Lyles-Belton, also known as Dr. Nick, and I want to share something with you that happened to me today while I was at work. So while I was at work today, I saw a beautiful young lady, and she was looking at me. Hey, Mom. She was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and she was looking at me, and I was looking at her. And finally I said, hi. And she started speaking words, but I could not hear what she was saying because we were so far away from each other. So I walked up closer to her and I said, hi, how are you? She said, I don't mean any harm. I didn't mean to stare at you. She said, when I see you, I do stare at you a lot. She said, are you Lyles-Belton from Facebook? And I said, yes, that's me. She said, oh, I follow you on Facebook. And she said, we need more. Now, mind you, I'm at work. Hey, Stephanie Ann. I'm thinking to myself, what is she talking about? She said, we need more. So, and I said, we need more? And she said, we need more of your videos. I saw the video that you did the other night. Hey, Sora, Lynette. And I said to myself, oh, you need more videos? Because I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, yes, we need more videos. And this is what she said to me. She said, I need you to make a video on emotions and how we deal with our emotions. And I sat right there in that moment, and I said to myself, and I said to her, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that tonight. Hey, Lex, I said, I'm going to do that tonight. So I promised her that I was going to come on Facebook tonight. I changed up my whole schedule. I actually had a conference call earlier with the beautiful ladies of Greatness in You Incorporated for our upcoming vision board party for 2018. Hi, Andrea. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Deanna. And some of you might wonder, like, why is she stopping to say hi to everyone? I want to stop before I get deeply into the message, because my way of saying hi is I'm acknowledging and thanking you that you are taking time out to be on with me. So I hope that you guys are not irritated when I stop for a moment just to say hi to people, because I want to acknowledge you for being on with me. So I told her, I said, tonight I will do that, because she stopped. Hey, Vanetta, because she stopped for a moment and said, I really need you. This is what she said. She said, to help us deal with our emotions. And I said to myself, if she can take time out of her day to ask me to do that, then I can take time out of my night to do this just for her, not just for her, but for anyone else. So I didn't even get her name. We got so caught up in the conversation. So if you're watching tonight, I guess I'll know when we get to work tomorrow. But this message is for you, my love, and for all of you who are watching tonight. So tonight's topic, I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Hey, Stacey, and I've got to get myself together. I'm on an emotional roller coaster, and I've got to get myself together. So let's do some groundwork here, if you will. Roller coasters. Most of us have been on a roller coaster before, right? And that's how we know if we like roller coasters or if we don't like roller coasters. So you go to Great Adventures, you've been to Great Adventures or Six Flags, whatever you may call it. You may have been on a boardwalk on rides. You may have been, to Disney World, Disneyland, all different kinds of places where you have gone to theme parks where they have roller coasters, right? And when we get on these roller coasters, some of us, we may stand in line for up to an hour or 2 hours because we want to be on this actual ride that brings us such thrill and brings us such, enjoyment, and then that adrenaline rush. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like roller coasters. I think it's a control thing, and I don't like the feeling of my stomach dropping when I get on that roller coaster, when it goes on that, anyone know what I'm talking about? When it goes on that deep dip down and it's like your stomach and everything feels like you just lost it all. I don't like that feeling. But what I want to say about that kind of roller coaster is that's a roller coaster of choice. That roller coaster is the kind of roller coaster, hey Tony, that roller coaster is the kind of roller coaster that you get on because you want to be on it. Hey Mom Rose, you get on that roller coaster because you want to get on it, right? It is a choice to get on that roller coaster. You walk around the theme park, right? Before you even get there, you even know what ride you want to get on. You know what ride you want to get on. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Pat. You know what ride you want to get on. You know what ride you don't want to get on. You know what ride you will get on more than once because you know what you expect to get out of that ride. Well, on the contrary, there are some emotional roller coasters that many of us never stood in line for. We never asked for. We never researched this emotional roller coaster to say, this is the roller coaster that I want to be on. This is the roller coaster that I want to keep me up late at night. This is the roller coaster that I want to stress me out. This is the roller coaster that I want to make me have anxiety. This is the roller coaster that I want to break my heart. This is the roller coaster that I want to make me stop eating or overeat, right? We didn't sign up for that. We didn't sign up for that roller coaster. You know why? Because whenever we got involved with whatever we got involved with, the idea of being on an emotional roller coaster never crossed our mind. Why? Because whatever we got connected to and whatever we got connected with never showed us sign in the beginning, most times, in the beginning, that there was the potential that we would be on an emotional roller coaster. Now, I looked up emotional roller coaster and I did take notes. Those of you who know I'm a preacher and I'm a speaker, I like to have my notes. So if you see me looking down, you know I'm looking at my notes. This is what I received as an emotional roller coaster definition. An emotional roller coaster is an experience that alternates between making you feel sad, disappointed, or desperate. An emotional roller coaster alternates, goes back and forth, up and down. Hey, Malika, back and forth, up and down, making you feel sad, disappointed, or desperate. Or an emotional roller coaster, you can have extreme highs where everything is great and you're happy, and everything is wonderful. And then all of a sudden you hit that crazy dip, then boom, you dropped into depression. Then boom, you dropped into sadness. And boom, you dropped into anger and depression and being desperate. An emotional roller coaster. That's what that is. Tonight, I want to talk to us first about how to calm our emotional roller coaster. I want to say this, that depression and anxiety is something that many of us have dealt with or do deal with from time to time. Now, if you've ever been depressed or had a feeling of anxiety, can you hit some hearts or some likes for me so I know that I'm talking to the right people tonight or today whenever you see this message? If you ever dealt with any kind of depression, if you ever dealt with any type of anxiety, let me know that I'm talking to the right people tonight. Because I don't want to waste my time tonight. I really want to be able to touch some people tonight. Okay, I see some sad faces, some happy faces, some hearts. All right, I'm in the right place. Or you can type, you in the right place. You can type that as well. I want to say this. It's normal every now and then to feel blue. You know, not blue, the color blue. But every now and then we get the blues. You know, we get the blues. And we sometimes feel like, you know, I'm just having a moment, or, you know, I'm just not having a great day right now, or something within me just doesn't feel right, or my mood has shifted, and my mood has altered. But I do want to say this. Thank you, Lex. Thank you, all of you. I do want to say this. It is not normal, and I want you guys to catch this. It is not normal to have a life of consistent lows. That's not normal. It's not normal. Or a way of life, or what you have been called to have consistent lows, consistent depression, consistent anxiety, to the point where it disrupts your everyday life. And please, as I'm speaking, if you would please share this message while I'm speaking. That's not something that we should be dealing with. Hello, Felicia. That's not something that we should be dealing with. If you find, and if we find ourselves in a pattern of depression, anxiety, extreme lows, and it's affecting, and I like to say, and infecting our lives, that should put off a light or a signal within us that something is wrong and something is not right. If you're feeling sadness, and you're constantly feeling irritable or feeling nervous, that's not what you're here for. And I want to begin to talk to us about how to deal with this. The first thing we have to do was, number one, and I want you to take some notes if you can. The first thing you got to do is you got to acknowledge it. Stop denying it. Stop covering it. Stop acting like it, whatever your it is, because you know what your it is, I don't know. You have to stop acting like, and I'm going to just not say you, but when I say you, please understand I'm speaking of we. All of us. We have to stop acting like it did not happen. We have to stop acting like it does not affect us. And we have to, in order for us, hello Angela, in order for us to move forward in dealing with our emotional roller coaster, we have to be able to remove the mask. Your beautiful mask, your handsome mask, your mask, and I speak of this when I'm preaching and sometimes doing empowerment. Some of us have multiple masks. We have a mask for home. We have a mask for work. We have a mask for church. We have a mask around this set of friends. Hey, Abel. Hey, Divine. We have a mask from the mask gods. Yes, we have a mask for different places. But the most beautiful and complex and unique mask that we wear is the mask that we wear for ourselves. That mask we have perfected to detail, because when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we know what we want to see and we know what we don't want to see. And that mask that we put on our face, we put it on sometimes to hide what we don't want to deal with. But in order for us to deal with our emotional roller coaster, and in order for us to get ourselves together, we have to acknowledge it. Number two, we must ask ourselves, where am I? Where am I? You ever been lost before? You ever tried to put an address in your GPS tracking device and it just is not taking you where you know you should be going? And you're going around and around and around in circles. And then finally you pull over for a moment. You start looking around. You look at your phone. You look at your GPS on your phone or wherever you may have your GPS. And you ask yourself, where am I? Where am I? When it comes to you being on, hi Shamira, an emotional roller coaster. When it comes to you being sad, depressed, or feeling anxiety or irritability, when it comes to that, we have to stop for a moment and ask ourselves, where am I? In this moment, where I am in right now, let's just say all of a sudden right here, boom, I had a feeling of depression or sadness or irritability came over me. I must ask myself, where am I? Not where am I sitting right here in my kitchen in this chair. I'm not saying that. Where am I in my feelings right now? Where am I? And not just where am I, what am I feeling? We have to be able to connect with ourselves authentically. When I say connect with ourselves authentically, the same way we connect with ourselves when we know we're starving and hungry, we make that connection like, I want this to eat. I want Chinese food. I want Italian food, right? I want Subway. I want chicken. I want Wawa. I want Domino's. Whatever it is that you want, you get within your feeling and you make that connection with your taste buds or your cravings, right? Hey, Tashi. Hey, Shakira, but when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to what you're dealing with at the moment, you must ask yourself, where am I in this moment? And what am I feeling? And not just that, the next question we must ask ourselves, number 3, is, how did I get here? How did I get right here? If I was to come to your job tomorrow morning, and I was to stand in front of your desk or wherever it is that you work, and I was to ask you, hey Tiffany, how did you get here today? You will be able to give me specific directions on how you got from your home to your job. You know why? Because you were paying attention and you know exactly what you had to do to get from point A to point B. Well, when it comes to your emotions, only you know how you got to where you are right now. If depression is your feeling, you know what made you depressed. You know what caused the depression. If it's anger, if it's rage, if it's anxiety, if it's nervousness, if it's extreme lows, in most cases, we know exactly what it is and we can pinpoint it. Now, you don't have to pinpoint it to everyone else, but you have to, and you must pinpoint it when it comes to yourself. If you ever want to get past this emotional roller coaster, you're going to have to be real with yourself and say to yourself, how did I get here? Because you know what? You didn't just wake up one day and, I'm depressed. I don't know where this came from. I'm angry and I'm ready to buck shots. I'm ready to punch somebody in their face, or I am pissed off. I am ready to fight. No. You didn't just wake up one day and feel like that. Something happened. And you know exactly what happened. And the only way you're going to be healed, delivered, and set free from whatever it is that has you bound, whatever it is that has you in shackles, and whatever it is that has you in chains, is when you are real enough with yourself to say, something happened. And not just something happened. This is what happened. I almost feel like I'm getting ready to cry. Oh my God. Woo, give me a moment. I tell people all the time, give myself a moment. I tell people all the time, I never will talk to you about anything that I don't know about. If I don't know about it, I won't talk to you about it. If I can't talk to you from a place of experience, I can't talk about it. I can't talk to you about running a relay race because that's not my thing. But I can talk to you about emotional roller coasters because I've been there. I'm back together now. Whew, I was almost gone there for a minute. All right. We must ask ourselves, what caused this moment? What caused me to be right where I am at this moment right now? And then next, number 4, you must ask yourself, once you recognize all this, once you take off the mask, and once you're real with yourself about what happened and where you are, you must ask yourself this question: am I really ready to get off of this ride? Am I really ready to get off of this ride? I want you to even ask yourself that. If somebody's sitting next to you and you don't want to say it out loud, to say it in your mind. But if you're by yourself, say it. Or you don't mind saying it next to who you're sitting next to, say it. Ask yourself, am I really, say that, am I really ready to get off of this ride? Am I really ready to break free from depression? Am I really ready to loose myself of this pity party and this anger and this irritability and blaming everybody else for where I am and why I am and how I am and what happened? Am I really ready to get off of this emotional roller coaster? And once again, please continue to share this as I am speaking. Am I really ready to get off of this ride? If your answer is yes, and I pray that your answer is yes. If your answer is yes, I am ready to get off of this ride. And I dare some of you right now to be bold enough to even type in, I am ready to get off of this ride. I am ready to get off of this ride. If I could type it right now, I'm messing up everything, but I don't want to mess it up. I have my whole contraption set up right here. You guys can't see it, but it's a lot going on back here. I am ready to get off of this ride. If you are ready to get off of the ride, here comes the plan. Number 5, you must devise a plan. You must devise a plan. You must, within yourself, now that you have admitted to yourself that something happened, you know what happened, now that you have admitted to yourself, I'm ready to get off. Oh, thank you guys for being transparent enough to say I'm ready to get off of this ride. Now that you have admitted to yourself that, you know, something happened and I know where I am and I know how I got here, when you're really ready to get off this ride, you have to devise a plan. Because it's the same thing if you said, I am so hungry, I know what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight, and you never eat. Again, if you say to yourself, I am so hungry, I know exactly what I'm going to eat, I know exactly where to get it from, but if you don't take the necessary steps to go and eat, you're going to be hungry. And if the next day you got up and said the same thing, I'm hungry, I know I need to eat breakfast, and I know what I can eat, and you don't eat, you're starving yourself. And I want to say to someone who's watching tonight, if you know that you are capable of getting off the ride, and I want to say to some of you, thank you guys who are writing, I am ready to get off this ride. If you know that you are ready to get off this ride, and you know that you are capable to get off this ride, and you will not get off the ride, you are starving yourself of a full life. You have to devise a plan. And I want to say this. Just like it took some time for you to develop whatever it was that connected you to the emotional roller coaster, it's going to take some time to disconnect you from whatever caused you to be on the emotional roller coaster. I'm going to say that again. The same, yes, Cicely, the same way, hey, Aunt Darlene, hey, Ro, the same way it took some time for you to get connected and entwined with whatever caused you to be on that emotional roller coaster. It's going to take some time to disconnect from the emotional roller coaster. Now, the main point, the big point, the great point is that you acknowledge that you're ready to get off. That's wonderful. I applaud you that you said, I am ready to get off. Now comes the action. You have to take some action. And you must tell yourself this. It's going to take some time, but it's going to happen. It's going to take some time, but it's going to happen. So number one, here we go. This is what you have to do. Now that you are ready to devise the plan. These are for the people who are ready to move on. And these next points are for the people who are thinking about getting off the roller coaster. All right? Number one, I need you to know this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. You, ma'am, you, sir, can do this. Can. You have the ability to do this. You can do this. There is something within you that is strong enough to fight its way off of that roller coaster. I'm going to say it again. There is something within you that is strong enough to fight your way off of that roller coaster. And I want to tell you this, coming from experience, you don't need a whole bunch of fight to get off the roller coaster. Because some of us have been on a roller coaster before, an emotional roller coaster before, and we got off of it. And then we found ourselves on another emotional roller coaster. What does this let me know? This let me know that it is possible to get off of the emotional roller coaster. When I was going through the deepest depression of my life, I did not have a lot of fight. I did not have a lot of physical strength. I didn't have a lot of spiritual strength. I was going down for the count and ready to die. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? And the only reason I can share this with you, hi Bishop Martin, the only reason why I can share this with you is because God delivered me from the fear of sharing my testimony and the embarrassment, the guilt, and the shame. And once God looses you from that, then you don't have to be embarrassed about your story. You don't have to be embarrassed about what you have survived. When God looses you from that, then you're supposed to reach back and strengthen somebody else. So here we go. I did not have a bunch of strength. But what I did know was this. If I said, God help me, then he was going to do the rest. That's all the fight I had. Do you hear what I'm saying? I wanted it. I wanted it. I was flat out on my back in tears, screaming, God, please make it stop. Please make the pain stop. I can't do this anymore. And when he heard my cry, and I'm saying, the way I'm saying it to you right now sounds really cute, but I was literally screaming in the middle of the night. I'm talking about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. God, please make it stop. I can't take this anymore. That was my fight. I didn't have that physical strength anymore because emotionally I was tired. But there was a fight inside of me. And I want to say to those of you who are watching right now, there is a fighter inside of you. And I know you're hurting, and I know you feel broken, and I know you're tired. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know it's a new year, new me, but something inside of you said, but this area right here, I'm sick and tired of it. And not only that, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Hey, Judy. You're saying that. You're saying that to yourself, right? This area of my life right here, something's got to give. And I'm telling you right now, if you will present your fight to God, if you will present to God whatever it is that is fighting you, that is trying its best to take you out, I promise you, as the old folks say, if you take one step, God will take 2. But you've got to want it. You got to want it. You constantly hear me say, how bad do you want it? If you want to get off the emotional roller coaster, you got to first of all know you have the ability to, and then you have to present all of your issues, all of your pain, all of your brokenness, all of your challenges, all of the things that continue to keep you up at night, the things that make you frustrated and angry. Listen, you can't keep walking around with this. And for many of us, I say this often, we have gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. So So you're walking around every day with your baggage. Every day you're walking around with your baggage. Just walking around with your baggage and walking around with your baggage and walking around with your baggage. At some point, I'm wondering, does your back hurt? Figuratively speaking. Do your knees hurt from carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? At some point, you have to say, this is not the life God called me to. God did not call you to a life of frustration, of bitterness, of anger. And I know life happens. Trust me, life happens. But life has not come to stop you. I'm saying it again. Life happens, but life has not come to stop you. Life has not come to stop you. The enemy, the Bible says the enemy comes to steal, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But if you are a child of God, you know, use your weapons. Use your weapons. The Bible says no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. The weapon is going to form. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The Bible says no weapon formed against me. That means it's going to come together. It's going to form. But it's not going to penetrate you. It can't prosper. It cannot kill you. You're looking at a suicide survivor. I am here to tell you in the flesh, it cannot kill you. But you got to be willing to fight. Number one, like I said, you have to understand you can do it. Number two, you have to get in touch with yourself internally, right where you are. And we talked about that internally. What am I feeling? I say to people often, when I feel a drop in my spirit, like, you know, I'm generally like a really bubbly person. Like, that's me. But I am so in tune with my spirit, I know when there's a drop. And when there is a drop, I don't care where I am or what I'm doing, I will pull back and ask myself, what just happened? Why are you upset? You know how you see kids get upset, you know, put them aside. What happened? Why are you upset? When it comes to you and your emotions, when you feel a drop, when you feel yourself like that drop on the roller coaster, when you feel that dip, boom, you need to ask yourself, what just happened? Don't just allow it to sit and fester within you. Because you said you wanted to get off that emotional roller coaster, which means you don't let the feelings control you. You control the feelings. You don't let the emotions control you. You control the emotions, just like those of us who drink Red Bull. I do sometimes. But sometimes if you drink enough Red Bull, you'll be hype, or coffee, but you will feel that drop. And you will know exactly what it is, right? You know when that drop hits. And you're like, wait a minute, whoo, my energy level's not where it was. That darn Red Bull, that coffee, right? You know exactly what it is. So when there is a drop in your spirit, you need to stop what you're doing and pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm going to say it again. Pay attention. Hey, baby bro, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on in your spirit. Pay attention what's going on in your spirit, man. Pay attention. Don't just allow your feelings to be willy-nilly and all over the place. Get some control over this thing. Just like you wouldn't allow somebody to walk up to you, take your stuff, beat you up. Here, you can have it. You can have whatever you want. And guess what? You can come back again tomorrow. The devil is a liar. No, I'm going to fight for what's mine. When it comes to your happiness, you got to fight for that. Your joy, your peace, your love, your sanity. It's up to you to control that. Hey, saying, yeah, we working on this emotional roller coaster, says we working on it. It's up to you to control your sanity. If there is somebody that's in your life and they are the cause of your emotional roller coaster, ooh, and I know when I said that, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If they are the cause of your emotional roller coaster, you got some work to do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to automatically cut them off because I don't know your situation, but I do know this. You have to fix it. Fix it, or it's going to fix you in a way that you don't want to be fixed. It's going to put you in a fix and put you in a bind that you're going to wish you never got into. So, be in touch with your feelings. Be in touch with your emotions. And number 3, you got to be gentle with yourself. We are so hard on ourselves. If I give you credit, if you're an emotional roller coaster right now, I give you credit that you got up today and you tried again. I give you credit. I sure do. You got up today and you tried. If all you did today was try, I give you credit. If you tried today, if your goal today was not to cuss somebody out because you're angry on your emotional roller coaster and you did it, I give you credit. If your goal today was not to cry over things that people purposely do to try to hurt you and you did it, I'll give you credit. And guess what? If you still cried, I'll give you credit. You know why? Because you're still here. So this is what I'm going to say to us. We have to be gentle with ourselves. Getting off the emotional roller coaster is not like when you just get off of, what's it called, Kingda Car, or whatever the ride is at Great Adventures, right? You get off the ride, oh, that was fun. No. You're not going to automatically just walk off of it the next day. It's going to take some time for the feelings and the emotions to detach, to disconnect. So be gentle with yourself. Now, I'm not saying get back up every day and stand in that line for 2 hours to get back on that emotional roller coaster. Don't do that. But what I am saying is that if you find that you hit a spot which you're working on and you find, okay, I've been doing really good with my depression this week, or I've been doing really good with my anger this week, and then you hit a day that you're having a moment in that day, or you just had a day that it just wasn't so great, right? Be gentle with yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh, I just blew the whole plan and it's not going to work out for me. No, be gentle with yourself and say, you know what? But I'm going to keep on trying. I'm going to keep on trying. I'm not going to give up. This is your life. You can't give up on you. Too many other people have given up on you. They've walked away from you. They've written you off, and now you're going to give up on you too? I don't care who gave up on you. I don't care who walked out on you. You don't walk out on you. You don't check out on you. You don't give up on you. You don't throw in the towel on you. And if you threw in the towel, you go back and you grab that towel, wipe your sweat, and you keep going. You don't give up on you. You don't give up on yourself. You don't give up on yourself. You get up and you keep trying. Tears in your eyes, keep trying. Pain in your heart, keep trying. Whatever it is that's going on in your world that's making you feel like you cannot get off the emotional roller coaster, you can get off of it. Keep trying. Next. Know that your emotions don't control you. You can control your emotions. This is what I do. When I find myself in a place where my emotions are just getting the best of me, I stop, I stop my thoughts. When I go back in my thoughts, because usually it's a back bad thought or a back good thought that I shouldn't be thinking that will turn bad for me. So what I do is I tell myself, we're not getting ready to think about that. We're not getting ready to go back there. And I change my thoughts. I don't just allow my brain just to think about whatever it wants to do and go willy-nilly. When you find your brain is going somewhere else, you got to bring your brain back in. Nope, Because what happens is whatever you dwell on gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to continue to grow. Let's talk about relationships. If you know you're not supposed to be involved with somebody, right? And you're trying your best to get rid of your your feelings take time to get over. Let me say this. If you're trying your best not to go back to that relationship, you sitting there thinking about and reminiscing about how great it was to be with that person when it was good is not going to help you. It's not. Oh, I remember the good times. Well, guess what? Right now was not the time to think about the good times. Oh, I remember when he was so nice. I remember when he was so sweet, or she was so good to me. And I remember when everything was right. But you're trying to leave the relationship. So if you're trying to walk away from a relationship, you can't dwell on what it used to be, because what it used to be is not what it is right now. And if you know staying in that relationship is killing you, you cannot sit there and keep thinking on it. So whatever it is, maybe it's not a relationship. Maybe it's something or someone or something that was once a part of your life, and you start sitting there and dwelling on it, or start thinking about what they said to you and what they did to you, and why, and how you're so angry about it and why you're so mad about it. You keep thinking about it, it's going to make things worse. So when you find that your brain is going too far left, you got to bring it back in. Bring it back. You have control of your mind. You have control of your mind. And while I'm speaking, please share this message. You have control over your mind. So when you find that your mind has gone somewhere else, you got to bring it back in. You got to bring it back in. Next, I want to say this. While we're working on getting off this emotional roller coaster, it's very important that we focus on this task. But this is not the only task that we're focusing on. I want you also to focus on your gift. What I found out is that when I was going through the worst hell of my life, when I started working on my gift and what God deposited in me and what he has called me to do, I started finding a happiness, and not just a happiness, a joy that I knew not of. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, I love doing this. And during that time, and most people didn't know, during the most broken time of my life, that's when God started opening up crazy doors for me. I started traveling. I was on this airplane and that airplane and this airport and that airport, speaking on in this television show and this radio show and this magazine and that magazine. You know why? Because I didn't keep tunnel vision on my pain. I didn't stay right here and this is what I'm going through. I'm trying to get off this emotional roller coaster. I'm working on this process, so I'm just going to sit here and wait. No. While you are waiting, work. While you are waiting, build. While you are waiting, grow. While you are waiting, manifest. While you are waiting, get in touch with your gift. Get in touch with your calling. Get in touch with who God has called you to be and do what God has called you to do. Even in your brokenness, you can still prosper. Even in your brokenness, you can still prosper. Even in the things that are hurting you, and even in your rage and your irritability, and while you're trying to deal with this and trying to deal with that and trying to figure yourself out and try to figure life out, you can still grow and you can still prosper. I was preaching on international TV with a broken heart. Hear me well. I was preaching on international TV and had a broken heart. Had just survived suicide and nobody knew it, not even my family. Do you hear me? And God was saying, as long as you keep going, I'm going to keep healing you. As long as you keep going, I'm going to show you what I'm going to make out of this situation. As long as you keep going, God was showing me this. As long as you keep going, I'm going to show you how it's going to work for you. But you cannot sit on the side of your bed and hope one day, well, I'll just keep on sitting here and maybe one day it'll get better. No, you got to keep moving. It's going to get better, but you got to keep moving. You got to keep growing. Work on your gift. Find out what you're good at. What do you want to do, and do that thing. And I don't care if nobody else, hey, sing. I don't care if nobody else around you is not doing it. Your greatest calling is going to make you look crazy to some people. Why is he trying so hard? Why is she trying so hard? You don't know the hell I've been through. That's why I'm trying so hard. I almost died on that emotional roller coaster. That's why I'm trying so hard. I almost fell out of the seat when that roller coaster was upside down. That's why I am trying so hard. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to forget about the people. Turn off the voices. Forget about the people's opinions. Because while you are on your emotional roller coaster, most times nobody's sitting there with you holding your hand, saying it's going to be all right. Hey, let's get through this. No, you just have to do you. It's as simple and simplistic as that. I love you too, honey. You just have to do you. Kimberly, do you. Roro, do you. Aaliyah, do you. Do you. Do you. And the last point I want to say is this, and I'm done. Give yourself permission to live. Give yourself permission to live. Again. Give yourself permission to live again. This emotional roller coaster, I know it's so hard, Lynette. I know. This emotional roller coaster can pack enough punch where it feels like it's literally punching you, punching the air out of you. I don't know if you've ever been in so much pain where you feel like, and I'm not talking about like from somebody literally hitting you. I'm talking about emotional pain where it feels like you are gasping for air. Like, I mean, like you feel like you're having an asthma attack and you don't even have asthma. I'm talking about that kind of pain. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you. Bessie, thank you. I want to tell you that you can get past that. You can get through that. And you can even work in that kind of pain. You can even work in those kind of conditions. And yes, it feels like it's suffocating you. It feels like someone is choking the life out of you. And I want to tell you, that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to give up. He wants you to surrender. He wants you to throw in the towel. He wants you to say, I'm done. I cannot do this. I am here to tell you, you can do this. You can do this, and I know it's hard, but you're looking at a survivor. I went to divorce court, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I was in love with my ex-husband when I went to court. At that time, he was my husband. I stood before the judge, and I knew I was suffocating and still in love. But I also knew that I had to save my life. So I had to walk in there with all my broken pieces in my hand and throw away and let go of what I thought was always going to be my lot forever and ever. Amen. I had to do that, but I had to be strong enough for me to be able to do that. And I had to stand in front of my judge, in front of the judge, next to my lawyer, and say, yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is what I need. And I walked out of that court with my head held high and my broken heart. And I said, God, if you want me to live beyond this, you're going to allow it to be so. And I did. And I am telling you this, you can live beyond the pain. You can live with the pain. You can prosper and still be great. And one day, I know it may not seem like it right now. One day it's not going to hurt anymore. One day it's not going to hurt anymore. One day you're going to wake up, and by noon or evening, you're going to say, wait a minute, I did not hurt all day long. Oh my goodness, I didn't cry about it today. One day, you're going to wake up and you're going to look back like, oh my goodness, I'm not mad anymore. Oh, I have to add this part, and I didn't even write it down. Thank you, God. You have to forgive. You got to forgive. You got to forgive. You have to forgive and stop waiting for that apology that you know you deserve. You have to forgive and stop waiting for that apology that you know you deserve. Let me tell you something. Forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. When you forgive them, you loose yourself of holding on to that bitterness and that anger. Forgive. I'm not saying pick up the phone like, listen, I just called to let you know I forgive you. Because that might set you up for something else. All closure is not good closure. But forgive within your heart. Within your heart. Say a prayer. God, I'm letting this go, and I forgive. And I know that they should be the one apologizing to me, but I'm going to forgive, and I'm going to let this thing go because it's eating up at me. They're sleeping good at night. You're the one that's stressing out. They're moving on with their lives. You're the one that's not doing well right now. They're doing well, even though they hurt you. They're doing well. So why inflict even more pain upon yourself by holding on to something? Holding on to bitterness and anger and rage and hurt when they're not even thinking about you anymore. Let it go so you can grow. Let it go so you can grow. Let it go so you can grow. I know you mad. I know you want to get up every day on Facebook and just rip them, right? Don't even do it. It's times I want to get on Facebook and I'm going to snatch my hand back like, don't you write it. Don't you type it. Don't you do it. I want to share something because that's how I feel at the moment. Like, it's not worth it. Let me tell you this, and I'm going to close on this. The best way you deal with your emotional roller coaster and the best way that you move on is through your success. Get involved and get in tune with everything inside of you. Everything God put inside of you. Get into your word. Get into your word and read. Read Proverbs. Go through Proverbs and read every single proverb. Read every single chapter in Proverbs. Read it. Read it. Read it. And it will help you. It will help you grow. I hope that you got something out of this message tonight. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. I've got to get myself together. And if it helped you tonight, can you give me some hearts? Let me see it, that this helped you tonight. I'm so happy, and I want to give a shout out to my dogs, Nick and Mia, who are in my room, that they did not bark one time. Thank you, Lord. Won't he do it? They didn't bark not one time. I know that they are waiting for me. They didn't bark not one time, but I am really, 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 really praying for us. Last night, ladies, I asked you to put on Facebook, I am powerful. There is an I Am Powerful movement coming. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. I am powerful. Also, some of you, I see the hearts, thank you. Some of you have been hitting me up and asking me, how do I form my story? Thank you, Aunt Darlene. How do I develop my story? And how do I get my story out there? I'm going to be, by the end of this week, I'm going to be posting information for all of you to join in a webinar so that you can find out how you too can start sharing your story. I'm not saying I have the perfect remedy, but I'm going to tell you what worked for me. I'm going to give you all of the things that worked for me in helping me start to share my story so that you too can share your story. Your story might not be mine, and that's perfectly fine because somebody needs your story. We all reach different people. We all have different followings. We all have different audiences, but someone needs your story. Someone needs to know that you got off the merry-go-round, off the roller coaster, and you were able to live. Holding on to unforgiveness is poison to your soul. Seriously, it's like cancer. It will infect your thinking and actions. It is not of God. That is true. It will totally infect you. It will make you feel like you are dying inside while they are just prospering and living, so it seems. I love you guys. Listen, we're going to get off that emotional roller coaster. And one day we're going to look back and say, I really got off of that roller coaster. And I got myself together. And guess what? For you all, I'm believing God that's going to happen this year. It's going to be not when you say Merry Christmas. It's going to happen soon. You just got to keep working on it. I appreciate you too, sis. You just got to keep working on it. Please share this message. I love you all. It's going to get better. It's got to get better. It gets greater. After this roller coaster comes greater. Get in touch with that soul inside of you who's screaming for your attention. Work your greatness. It's just not a statement. It's serious. Work your greatness. Work your greatness. There's something inside of you that said, listen, even in pain, we're going to be great. Even in frustration and we don't understand, we're still going to be great. We're still going to fight through this. We can do this. Let's do this. I love you all. God bless and good night. Share.